Good evening, everyone. How is everybody doing? Welcome. It is Friday night. Do you know what time that is? Do you know what that means? Means it is time for some more preseason minor league football action. Uh, Thanks for joining us, simulation sports fans. I'm here in the broadcast booth with one and only Daniel Wright. Good evening, Daniel. I hope you're doing well.
Good evening, everyone. And I'm feeling a whole lot better, I have to say. Physically, I think I'm almost there. I'm at probably 90%. And this could be because of this football we're about to watch that's bringing me up. I'm ready to watch. I'm ready to see some hits.
That is awesome. Great to hear. Great to hear. Yeah, as people that don't know, you were stricken with COVID last week, and you're coming pretty much last weekend. You're kind of down and out. You weren't getting much sleep. Your throat was killing you. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, my first symptoms happened Friday last week.
Okay.
A little bit of a sore throat, tingle in the throat. I thought nothing of it. Turns out my throat didn't want me to sleep for about 24 to 48 hours. So I
Wow.
was strict on bed rest with Gatorade. I'm down 8 pounds. But
Not not the kind of
you gotta
diet. Not the kind of
not the
diet you
diet I
wanted.
wanted, but we fight through it, and now we're here and we're back. We're ready to go again.
Awesome. I'm really excited about this. This is our last of 4 preseason games. Can you believe that 2 weeks from now, 14 days from now, I believe it's the 22nd is when the week 1 kicks off. That I this It's both been a long time, a long journey since mid January when sort of the minor league started opening up for new players to come in and things. But now we're here. We are literally days away from the start of the season. Season 5, Big 5.
Yeah, it's amazing. They released the first round games too, right on the SFL
They
Discord. They said who was playing who.
they did. And funny enough, we saw the game last week was between Madison versus Annapolis. Again, preseason, the way that works, there's no game planning going on. Both teams have the exact same generic playbook they're playing. So it's just sort of a friendly scrimmage, you can say. But this week 1 is no holds barred. They're going to be both of those teams are going to be playing again. So Jacob Clear, again, the head coach for Annapolis, used to be the offensive coordinator for Madison. So it's sort of like a weird homecoming slash startup rivalry, if you will. I last year was the assistant coach underneath Jacob. I've now stepped into his shoes at Madison, so it's going to be the Clear versus Raven show. We'll see how it goes, how it plays out. Should be a really exciting football. But again, that's 2 weeks away. We've got some even more exciting football coming to you in just mere minutes. I'm really excited.
Yeah, we finally get a chance to showcase the final two teams for this preseason. I would say not even an encore, but this is the pre-core to it all, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, there you
This is
go.
the start of the season for a lot of people here. To get the chance to see their player, get to see how they get to do. We'll finally get a chance to see the Lexington Miners, the Albuquerque Adams, who are name changing themselves back after being the Mud Dogs, Boise
The
Mud Dogs, right? Yeah,
Correct. They've changed.
last season.
They've gone down south from Boise to Albuquerque. Back under the tutelage of head coach Joshua Williams, I believe. Well, Lexington Miners are still being headed up by Ethan Kai, hard-nosed head coach out there doing a lot on both sides of the ball. Loves a nice friendly rivalry. I got a little taste of that last season when we were doing some minor little betting of changing the profile pictures on our discords for the loser. We ended up losing on our first meeting, and then we ended up taking them for a win on our second meeting. So we're sort of even at this moment. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bet him that coming will
You're
be
a
my
little scared. A little
uh
scared.
no, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will take it up.
Well,
Don't
what
call
we
me
have
chicken.
here is a couple of teams that had identities last season. The Adams, when they were the Mud Dogs, was all about Douglas Brown. Now there's no Douglas Brown anymore. They're going to have to reinvent themselves and see what happens off this. But a lot of people are coming back to what we had last season, and it's going to be fun to see. I see the names, few names I remember,
Yeah,
and a few names that just came back as well.
Yeah, Trellis Blanton, coming back. I believe this now is his. He was a rookie minor leaguer during our third season. Our when you and I were in the minor leagues in season 3. So this is now the starting of his third season as quarterback. Showing what I think he bumped up to silver or gold now with the addition I think of an animation. Looking at the sheet, we see Don Fletcher from Atlanta, a two-way player, and Liam Ryan from Mexico City, both from the Adams coming to play here. Similarly with wide receivers uh, Honus Adobe, TT Crystal, both got drafted, but they're also two-way contracts. They're back here in the minor leagues during the regular season here now too. On the minors, we've got Thomas Matthews and Forrest Dalton on the defense coming back. I think along with Ty Woodson, Travis Arthur, well on Tulsa over
Oh
there.
yeah, he's been really stepping up his game the last few weeks, actually.
Absolutely. You just keep touting Jaden Swift for putting you in the right places. I'm sure he's putting Travis in the right places out there as well.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I will always spew Jaden Swift's good name, like the Messiah he is, to help me this season.
we saw in the chat here, Scott Powell representing his team. He's out there as Access Football League. So, how you doing, Scott? Fullback returning. I think one of he was hoping to get drafted up there. That he was pushing really hard, and I know Ethan was pushing really hard for him. In the end of December there too. Wide receivers David Gears and Zachary Patton returning as well, and then we see a name that we saw last year. Didn't quite finish out the season last year, coming back again just this week. Jamarcus Candy at left tackle coming in. And funny enough, also we've got two kickers in both or a kicker on each of these teams, so two in this game, which is actually kind of a rarity. I think there's only 3 in the league right now, so having them two face to face should be fun.
Oh, definitely. And we all know the old saying, kickers matter. They're a big
Yes,
commodity in the pros. Everybody wants a kicker on the team. So it's going to be good to showcase these two players, especially since we got so few in the league right now. So if you know any friends, get them in as a kicker now, guys. We need them.
absolutely. And I want to call out a little special thank you to Neil Rivers, defensive tackle for the Adams. He was on our show just 2 nights ago. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Neil, also John Fowler, here's SFL Fowler in the chat joining us tonight as well. If you want to learn a little bit more about those two players, tune into our recording of Wednesday night show. They are really great to have on. It's always great to get to know um, our fellow players out there. So, well,
Yeah.
I, I I'm excited for this game to kick off. I've heard that the crowd is louder than usual tonight. That's what the sound engineers say. I'm wondering, should we get down to the field for some coin toss?
Well, I think we've talked enough about what we've done and what games have happened. I think we should really go into the action before, to get restless. So let's go. Let's see it.
Absolutely. You've got your popcorn.
I got my
Here we go.
popcorn.
All right. And so again, it is the Lexington Miners that are hosting Albuquerque here at their practice facility under the bright lights outdoors um, in Lexington.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's so nice to see those Adams colors again.
Yes, they are bright. I think they stored them somewhere over near Chernobyl in last season while they were the Mud Dogs. They've just gotten brighter and brighter. So here we see a few of the stars out there. We mentioned TT Crystal, Don Fletcher. We see newcomer Jason Peace out there, inside linebacker. Again, for the minors, we see Zachary Patton, David Gears, Thomas Matthews, Forrest Dalton making their way.
It's going to be really cool. Really nice to see how Bladden does after what people would say is a downward season for the Mud Dogs
the
as
Mud
whole.
Dogs? Okay.
Yeah, because they had pretty high expectations of making the playoffs again, and they struggled in the first half. So it'll be nice to see what Blanton does here, see if he rebounds, because they had a really good second half of the season. They just missed out on the playoffs.
So it looks like the Miners will be kicking off, and the Adams will be defending the north goal.
Well, we're probably going to see Charles Blanton off early and see how he does.
So the Miners set to kick off. And so again, for the Miners, we've got kicker Joey Robb with the kick, fielded at around the 2 or 3 yard line. Miners running up, taking it up to about the 27. Not a bad return there by the wide receiver number 3. Again, typically, the typical player who returns these both punt kicks and kick returns, punt returns, is the third wide receiver in the list. And right now, for both these teams, they've only got 2 wide receivers, so that third one is a generic player, a non-user player, you could say. So we see Trellis Blanton backing up, pass over the middle, caught just past that first down marker, completed to number 40.
Like number 40, the tight end, Xander Zeke.
Yes, he's just a recent acquisition, I believe, just the last maybe 2 weeks or so. I believe I saw him.
Well, he had a good route. He was wide open, good hands, got the first down. So let's see if they keep it going.
We see a pro look here from the Adams, single back behind Blanton. Drops back, a little draw play, hand off to Scott Ballou. I'm sorry, Ballou Scott. Sorry. Ballou Scott trying to run it up, not getting anything happening, not quite able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 on that play.
But the same, because Blue is such a good name, but he was kind of in a tailspin on that one.
Yep, the defensive line seemed to swarm and get that push. Nice little run off to the side, handoff for Scott. Gets knocked out of bounds after a gain of about 15 or so, maybe a little more.
Yeah, good blocking up front. Was able to get to the outside this time instead of trying to push in the inside, and that's where you get the most of those yards. We've seen it time and time again.
We'll see if they decide here on first down if they're going to try running it again. They just tried twice in a row. We'll see if they do that. Here we see a offset I. Looks to be a strong I. Spread formation. Trellis drops back, looking for an open man. Passes over the middle, into coverage. Tipped by the defender. Knocked down. Intended for, I think, wide receiver number 3, Brewer.
Yep, and that was almost caught by number 56, Thomas Matthews, for the Miners. Looked like Blanton was throwing somewhere, but he threw right in the hands of Thomas. He just couldn't hold on, unfortunately.
We've got a bunch here at the top and a single wide receiver at the bottom. Lone running back. Hand off to Scott. And he's gets about 3 yards on the play, but he's quickly stopped by the linebackers swarming on him. Not a bad play. Oh, I'm sorry. That's number 33, Garcia.
I believe that might be a generic. Well, we're looking at 3rd and 7 now on Lexington 42. Need another first down to get closer and closer to the field goal range at the very least.
Pass to the top, complete to number 11. That is Honus Adobe. I believe Honus is the son of another player. I'm not quite sure who. I don't know. I think it might have been maybe Bill Henry, tight end for Mexico City. We were on Bill's team, I believe, on the Grizzlies. Ooh, we got a little offsides encroachment action there. Penalty on the play, number 59. Or I'm sorry, 59 made the tackle, but the defensive end jumped off sides. The crowd here in Lexington is up in arms about that.
Well, that was a critical penalty because now they're well within the kicking range of Mickey Malalio.
Yes.
So that was a critical 5 yards gained, and now they're 1st and 5 on the 26. So they got plenty of time to just get 5 yards and continue to move those chains.
Defense is showing a 4-3. A handoff, run up the middle. That's number 22 again, Baloo Scott, getting 2 yards on that run.
Yeah, we're seeing Blue a lot early, and I like to see it. I like to see the running game getting going. And it's not like they need a whole bunch of yards, and it was first down. So seems like a simple, easy play to do on first down when you only need 5 yards.
Another handoff to Baloo. And Scott gets it. Oh, it looked like he may have gotten a little further, but they're going to call him down after just a gain of 1 yard.
Yeah, it's going to be a critical third down now. Let's see if the Lexington Miners can make a stop. They just need one more to happen and get their offense on the field.
We're seeing 2 tight ends at the bottom of the line. You see Blanton is making a little bit of a change there in real time out there. Lone back. A little draw play again for Scott. Not going anywhere. Loss of 1 on the play, but really powered back. Taken out by inside linebacker Thomas Matthews.
Thomas Matthews might have missed a dropped interception, but he's not missing that tackle, I'll tell you that much.
No. He's actually a pretty large guy. He's a 2-way contract player. He is playing inside linebacker for San Diego on the same team I'm on. So another partner in the linebacking crew alongside myself. And I believe he is the brother-in-law to Robert Cherry. If anybody watched last season's minor league season, Robert was the defensive end for Madison, the championship team, and was drafted to Charleston as a defensive tackle. So here we see the kicker, Mickey Melillo. Maybe they'll, if Mickey's here in the chat, or if anybody knows, if you can spell out onomatopoeia how to pronounce his last name, might be great. Melillo is what I'll say. I don't know. Melillo.
I'm just going to call him Mickey!
Mickey for the point after. Congrats. And here he is kicking off again. So it's now Albuquerque 3, Lexington 0. Lexington getting their first time getting the ball here. Number 86 with the return out to the 31, and that is where the Miners will be taking over.
Yeah, they just saw Adams go down the field pretty well. Adams got a bit too reliant on the run at the end. Just couldn't get the yards they needed after a good penalty. So let's see if the Miners can strike back with their core. And they do have a tackle. They have you said before, they have offensive linemen, so we'll see if they're going for a run game as well.
And so they have a new running back in Lexington. Here's Christian Pierce, number 22, out there. Being taken down by number 99, Neil Rivers. We mentioned him earlier. Sort of the defensive tackle core, that's the centerpiece of the defensive line there. We see pro form by the Miners. Jaleel Usman the second making a change on the line. Sloan back, a little draw play. Defensive line sort of blows that right up. Loss of 4 on that play.
And that looks like there was a corner coming all the way over. Don Fletcher making the tackle. And they have a pretty good defensive line. Fletcher's coming back on a two-way. We knew him. This will be his 3rd season in the Miners.
That's right. Liam, will be his second season. Jaleel back to pass. Tries to find an open man. Passes off to the lower part of the field. Broken up again by Don Fletcher.
Okay, Don, I said your name a few times. You don't need to make the big plays yet, okay?
It very well could have been a toe drag catch if it were. Yeah, I feel that could have been caught in bounds, but Fletcher gets his hands up for a nice deflection for the Adams.
It looked like Fletcher was using his head on that one, so it's good on him.
Brings up 4th and 14. So that will force the punt team out to punt away back to the Adams. They'll be punting. The kick will come off around the 15-yard line or so. Let's see where it lands. Receive at about the 32. taken down at the 40. Pretty big tackle there by number 91. Just like a defensive lineman should be taking down.
Oh yeah, and he definitely felt it. You could definitely see. But he made a few good moves. Got about maybe 5 or 6 yards off the punt. Put him on the 40. And they did move the ball fairly well on their first drive.
Wide receivers at top and bottom. Lone halfback. Little handoff to Scott again. Failed to get even up to the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 there. Seems like there just was no hole opening up there.
It seems every time they're trying to go on the inside, it's pretty blocked up pretty well. The big success they had was on the outside. So let's see if they go back to that at some point.
We see what might be a tight end flex play. Offset I. You got the fullback. Chuck Steller blocking in front of him. But still not able to pick up much other than just 2 yards there. There was Aaron Wicker, strong safety, coming up to make that participate in that tackle.
Yeah, we haven't seen Bladden throw in a while, so it'll be nice to see his arm getting some workout on this throw.
And you called it. He did get his workout, but it was picked. It was just grabbed right out of the air. That was looks like number 22.
Oh, we said his name earlier.
We did, Travis Arthur.
Native.
He loves getting he was a big what am I trying to say? He was getting his name out there a lot last season. He's a great guy. Good, had some fun competitiveness in the chats and really just an all around nice, great person. I believe we had him on the show towards the end of the season last year. Here we see Usman again under center. Looks to passes over to the halfback. Nice open lane for running. Picks up close to about 20 yards on that play. Maybe, high teens, 17, 18. So that's Christian Pierce with that catch and run.
Yep, and there was good blocking up front. Look at this, sealing the edge. And yeah, you said it yourself, good. What do you got from the 41, and he's down to the 38. So that's a good 20, close to 20-yard run. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad I figured that out. Math can be hard sometimes. So yep, like you said, from the Adams 41, Usman will hike it, do a little toss over to Pierce again, making a gain of 2 on that play, bringing them up to the 34. Sorry, that wasn't the 31. That was the, I don't know. It was the 36.
It was the 36. It's fine. We don't need to learn math here when we're talking about teams.
Yeah. You only need to know math when you're talking about the score. And it just tells us the score.
Sometimes the game's close enough that we don't need to worry about how many points are in between.
Here we see 2 tight ends, one on either side of the line. Little handoff to Pierce again. Just not able to get any yards on that one.
Yes, Mr. Rab, that is Daniel Wright on color commentary, also known as Johnny Blades for him. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see you out there now if you guys get a first down and you get in field goal range.
Or for a point after. Usman back to throw, just comes down. The defensive line was just sort of starting to wrap around him.
Yeah, they came on both sides, it looks like. Just wide open.
Yep.
Nothing he can do there at that point.
Breakdown of the offensive line and guarding and protecting him. Brings up 4th and 17, pushing them out of field goal range. They'll have to punt
Missed
it.
opportunity, too, because this came off an interception, so you're really hoping to get some points off that.
A rough long snap, but is able to recover and take it. The punt drops over into the end zone, giving him a touchback.
Hey, it can't be as rough as 2 weeks ago when it went over someone's head.
True. That was a fun, interesting game.
Yep, that was definitely interesting. A lot of parts of it, but Gotta iron out those things. Games
Yep.
like that happens.
So here we see Blanton again under center. Two receivers at the bottom, one at the top. Lone running back behind him. Drops back to pass. Drops over to the... Can't hold on to it. That's the halfback, not able to hold on. Baloo Scott. Probably
You
actually
know,
a benefit there.
I was just about to say, I think that's a blessing in disguise because I think he saw people coming towards like, nope, it's going on the ground.
Playing patty cake with that ball.
Hey, sometimes it may be incompletion, but at least it's not a loss of 3 or 4 yards.
Absolutely, which it very likely would have been there. We're showing some blitz here by defense. Baloo Scott was able to sneak through a little opening, but taken down pretty quickly after he got through. A gain of 5, not terrible run, but really hard nosed, pushing, you know, run, that type of run.
It also opens the playbook now because it's now just 3rd and 5. So you got some wiggle room on what you need to do, what you want to do, and how to
Blanton
get to
back, does a little check down to Scott. He receives it nicely, successfully, but only able to get 1 yard past the line of scrimmage before being shoulder pummeled to the ground.
The secondary didn't even try to tackle him; they just wanted to hurt him.
Not as much luck this time moving down the field as last drive. Looks like the Miner defense is starting to step up a little bit, starting to find their groove a little bit. We'll see if their offense can do the same. They looked actually pretty decent last drive. Just one minor mistake, little breakdown of the offensive line, pushed them back out of field goal range.
Would you say one minor's mistake?
Oh, we couldn't get through a night without some puns, so I appreciate you bringing that up. And we're still
Yeah,
within the first
it's so
quarter.
strange. I'm the first one to do it.
Right. So they'll get decent starting position at the 46, at their own 46. Only 54-yard runway before the end zone for them. We've got a split spread look here by the Miners. Successful hike, pass over the middle. Successfully caught for a gain of 7. That's number 10. Number 10 is Zachary Patton.
That's exactly what the Miners need now to get some forward progression, get some movement going. I would like to see him get get a toss to David Gears. We haven't said his name yet, and he was pretty big last season. But any type of movement like this, it's going to be good. You need the momentum, you need the motivation, you need just need to feel good. So let's see if they can get the first down here. It doesn't look like that's happening yet.
Little outside zone or a spread. I'm not a stretch play there. Just not able to get anywhere with that one. A loss of a couple yards on that. Yeah, I mean, we're looking at both teams. Both teams have both of their wide receivers coming back really solid. Albuquerque has 2 cornerbacks coming back. The Miners have one of their cornerbacks coming back. We'll see if there's any mismatches out there, or if the offense or defense either side starts to tire a little bit.
Yeah, I think we might get a pass interference flag.
You're right.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, it looked like Fletcher came in a little hot on that hit. A little early, one might say.
We've got
No, that wasn't 29.
1 second
My
left.
apologies. So yeah, we got 1 second left. Time has stopped. Full set it down. So we'll see if they can do anything, or we'll go right into the second.
They've moved the ball up to the Albuquerque 43. Got an I formation behind the quarterback. 2 wide receivers. Opts to pass, throws it over to the left side. Intended for number 13, that's David Garris, as you wanted to hear his name, so there we go. I'm sure he would have rather heard his name on a successful completion versus an incomplete pass.
It looked like a good throw too. It just they try to make a play happen, and it sometimes just doesn't connect. But I want them to go back to that in the future. I would like to see that again.
Yeah, no, I agreed. The pass looked really nice. Just decent coverage by the Adams, the cornerback there. They might even, this is just an offset, similar package as before. Passed over to the side, sort of a check down pass, trying to get the ball out of his hands, the quarterback. Don Fletcher with the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Good hustle, get him behind the line. We talked about earlier about dropping those kind of passes. That one maybe should have been dropped. Because now
Very
we're looking
true.
at 3rd and 13. A long way to go.
We've got 3 wide receivers at the bottom, or 3 receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top. Empty backfield. Usman to pass. Caught for a gain of around 17 or so out to the Albuquerque 28. It's number 86. That's their 3rd wide receiver. Generic player at the moment.
Yep, and that was a big catch because now that actually puts them at the very least in field goal range.
Little check down pass to the halfback. Christian Pierce not able to do much of anything.
Good thing he ran inside instead of the outside, though, because he probably would have lost yards. At least he was able to gain 1.
We've got the battle between the bright greens and the light blues. Kind of. I'm really liking both of these jerseys.
I miss the Adams jerseys, even though they're bright and, they kind of made me go blind every now and again. It's still nice to see.
Here we saw a Twins package where the 2 wide receivers were lined up on the same side. It looked like they might have done a similar play before, and it was very successful. But this time there was no blocker for one of the defensive backs out there, and was able to take the halfback down. We see a quads wide receiver look completed.
What the hell?
Through traffic to number 13, David Gears, able to just sort of keep running. I think the defensive backs, the secondary, was surprised out there.
You know who else was surprised? This man up here. I thought that was for sure going to be tipped away. I saw someone go down. It must have been just a ref.
Looks like number 41 defensive back must have been a safety of some sort. Just was surprised to see the ball sort of right in front of his face, was not able to get a hand on it, and it just flew right in front of him into Gare's hands. Right into the breadbasket, I guess you could say.
What an amazing throw. That's all I have to say about that. And now we get to see Joey Rabb with a point after. Congratulations. Hopefully you make it.
And it's good. So that puts Lexington in the lead now. Just a little bit after the start of the second quarter, 7-3, the Miners.
Well, we got some fireworks. Let's see if we can continue it, because I want to see the other side now do an amazing throw like that.
Set to kick off. Kick is up.
Because I always love to jinx Rabb. Me and him are buddies. This is what we do. I hit him in hockey. He does these little extra points in football.
Brewer able to take it up to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Adams are going to mount their next drive.
Yeah, 25-yard line. Not too bad. You really, if you want the best result, you want to get to 30 or so. But 25 is still pretty good to start off.
See a trips show, but they decide to run. There really wasn't anything going there for Baloo Scott. Taken down pretty harshly by the defensive line of the Miners. That's the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, besides that one outside run now, they've done a good job of stopping Baloo on the run game.
And that's one thing last season, the Miners had a really solid defensive core. And, as much, playground talk that they did do a pretty good job of backing it up with their play on the field. Really, really huge sack right there. That was number 51, Sean Parent. Defensive
He was
end.
roughhousing into playground there on that hit. take him right in the backfield.
Just tackling him like a little child. Someone call child protective services. It's just tackled by a parent. So it's 3rd and 18. Troutz is going to need to air this thing out. He does successfully. Hits his receiver. Falls a little bit, a few yards past that first down. That was number 11, Honus Odobe.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going straight up the middle. Came in from the side. Wide open there in the... I think they were probably doing a zone, but it was wide open there in the middle.
Aaron Wicker was able to tackle him down, but just too late to be able to knock that ball out of his arms as he was catching it. So here we see a split back. Pass over the middle. That looked like it was going to be complete, but just again knocked out of his hands. I think Odobe was even expecting it to stay in his hands.
It was a tight window, but it looked like he got it through.
I think it just hit it. Got hit in the back or in the front here and just knocked out before he was able to fully completely catch that ball.
And we're looking at a 2nd and 10 on the 38. Now they've been throwing a bit more, so let's see if they continue to do it. They've been having some success with the passing game.
2 receivers at the top and 2 at the bottom. A little toss over to their halfback. It's Baloo Scott again, trying to get something happening, and he showed a little bit of promise there with that run.
And what do we say? The only times he got positive yards when he ran to the outside. Once again, they gave him the outside route. Was able to bite the defenders and get enough for the first down.
Those wide receivers were able to get down the sort of draw the attention of the defensive backs trying to cover them, leaving pretty much both sides open for the running back to pick up around 11 yards or so. We see a split backs be either side of the quarterback. Tried to run, not able to get anywhere, a loss of 1 on the play.
So good recognition by Mr. Number 50, Forrest Dalton, to make the play because there was good blocking if he got past that defender.
Trellis back to pass. Passes successfully. Gain of 7 on the play over the middle. Let's see, number 46. That was a backup tight end out there.
3rd and 3 on the 39. Playbook's wide open. What do you think they're going to go here for?
I think they are going to run it. Oh, no. Back to pass. Passes to a wide open receiver on a little quick out, but too far out of bounds to make that worth anything.
Yeah, just led TT Crystal just a bit too far out. And now we're looking at 4th down on the 39. Might be out of range for a field goal, so maybe a punt is my guess.
TT Crystal would have been pretty wide open out there to get another, both to get the first down by a yard and maybe gain another 5 yards. The punt is up. And it's downed at the 4-yard line. And that's where Lexington is going to have to pray that they don't lose any yards on any of these. Traditionally, I believe the AI likes to run the ball when you're within 5 yards, just to sort of save the quarterback from going down. But if it's not the right running play, the running back, we've seen lots of negative yardage on runs before during this game so far. Hand it off. Loss of 1 on that play. Tried to get up there. Had fullback in front of him, but wasn't able to get anywhere with that.
Yeah, it looked like there was a secondary exactly in that spot where they wanted to run it too. If you notice the play on the defense, they have one guy not even block anyone, just being a watch. And, he came in and made the tackle.
Another handoff. some blocking in front of him, able to make a couple yards gain there. You know, it looked like there was a lot of people. He was able to like sort of hop and squeeze through a little cranny, nook and cranny in there to get through.
Yeah, at one point I think he even pushed up some of his own players trying to get that first,
Right?
get those
Yep.
yards.
We see a bunch, showing a bunch of wide receivers at the top, one at the bottom, lone back. Nice open line of scrimmage there for running. Able to get another 2 or 4 yards on that play, giving pretty much the punter just a little bit more breathing room back there, which is what they're going to be forced to do.
Yeah, and this is very dangerous because we saw it 2 weeks ago. Very close, similar position. It went over their head. So let's see if they can secure it, make a good kick, and then get the defense back out.
Nice blocking, a high punt, fielded around the 40, taken up to about the 38. So the Adams are going to have very good field position here, best that they've had so far of the night.
Yeah, it's almost like they never left.
You could almost say that. In fact, they might have actually gained a couple, a dozen yards on that exchange, that drive, by pinning them deep. 2 wide receivers, one at the top, one at the bottom. 2 tight ends at the bottom of the line. Phillips back to pass. In comes the linebacker, it looked like, or one of the defensive backs, and takes him down.
Yeah, it looked like a blitz right off the bat. Gets away from one, and then the second one comes in to help.
Just sort of sandwiches, couldn't get away from him. That line of scrimmage, the offensive line sort of squeezed him by the defensive line.
Yep, and time is slowly taken away. We're almost under 4 minutes left in the first half.
Backs in an I formation, 2 wide receivers. Trellis under center, takes the snap back, passes off to the right side. It's caught, taken up for about another 6 yards. Pass to Baloo Scott. It seems he's pretty good in the catch, the flats, on some of those swing routes.
Yeah, I hope the coaches are watching to see where the strengths are for their players, because Blue Scott is very good on the outside. Now we're looking at 3rd and 7. On the 35.
Got wide receivers in a bunch formation at the bottom, one at the top, lone back, handoff to Baloo Scott. Baloo Scott running up there, gets up to almost up to the sticks. Not able to pass that threshold, bringing up 4th and 1 on the Lexington 29. So we have to add 17 yards if we wanted to figure out a field goal distance to that yardage.
Well,
so that would be
They don't want to figure it out yet. We might be going for it on 4th down.
We'll see.
Or this could be the dreaded cheese.
See if they can pull them off sides. See how disciplined the Miners' defensive line is. They held strong. It's gonna. They burn one of their timeouts. And they're gonna be looking for a 46-yard field goal. This would be Mickey Melillo on the try.
Don't worry, Mickey got this.
We saw Joshua Williams having a little chat with Trellis Blanton, I believe.
You have to be a little disappointed with the good field position, though. Only come up with 3 if this goes in.
For the Adams and for the Miners, you have to feel pretty good about holding them there to only 3 points after that good field position. Number 7 excited for that field goal. That puts Adams have 2 field goals, so that gives them 6 versus the 1 touchdown by Gers earlier for the Miners. That puts them at 7. So we're looking at a 6-7 1-point game. We've had some very close games those first 2 games, and then the third one was a little bit of a blowout. Are we coming back to another really close game?
This is what it feels like, and it's exciting. I'm here for it. And even though the 2 weeks ago ended up being a bit of a blowout, it was close right up until the second half.
And here we see the Miners having a really good kick return Um, just the blockers were able to bunch up the defenders, and he was able to just sort of take a little sidestep and get around them. They all coming towards that middle and just found that little edge. If one of his number 44, it looked like if he had blocked his blocker a little bit more, it could have been holding, but he could have also, broken a little bit further.
No, it's very good field position. We said if you really want to do good, you want to be in the 30 range. They almost got to the 40. So, very good field position. 2 minutes and 47 seconds. 2-minute warning hasn't happened yet, so you got plenty of time to work this clock.
Christian Pierce again off to the side, showing how to run pretty successfully out there. 6 is not any. You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. 6 yards is 6 yards. We saw him earlier breaking for larger runs off to the side.
And they will get one more play off before the 2-minute warning. So we might see another run here. Worked last time. Keep it up. Nope.
Usman back to pass. Passes over to the side to Pierce. A little check down pass. Was not able to find anyone open. Just coverage was too good downfield. Had to drop it off to his little pressure release valve. Christian Pierce. Loss of some yards on that play.
Yep, and now we're into the 2-minute warning. First half's almost done. We still got another exciting half to go after this as well.
And I think, this is the sort of the first scrimmage against another team. Here we see a gun straight package. They're just figuring themselves out, both teams, seeing how well they play. That was a really great pass, threading the needle between 2 defenders, directly to the tight end, Jones.
We've seen this a few times now. Usman, when he ever gets the chance to throw it, like that little semi-deep pass, he's been on the money. So if we got time, it looks like he can be very accurate with his throws as well.
Absolutely. 2 backs behind Usman in an I formation. 2 wide receivers, one at the top, one at the bottom. Usman under center. Drops back, hands off. Little Christian Pierce comes up, but can't find a hole right away. Made a nice quick decision to go off to the side. Picks up 2 on that play.
Still some time to work. We're getting close to under 1 minute. Usually timeout here is good. I like the idea of it.
A lot of times teams don't use those times out during the first half.
Yep, and this gives them a chance to change the play as well, because you don't want to be stuck in that motion, doing that play with 3rd and 7 to go.
Yep. We just saw Christian Pierce using, churning his legs and getting what he could, a gain of 1 on that run. But really could have been stopped in the backfield, but, just kept his legs moving. See a quads left gun package. Usman back to pass. Thought he found a guy, was just too covered by Don Fletcher. Intended, I think that was David Gears out there.
Yeah, it looked like he didn't really have anybody open. He had a lot of time to throw, but just no one was able to get open.
So it looks like they might try for a field goal with the 53 seconds left.
Well, let's see if Rab has the leg. This is definitely going to be a long attempt. Maybe just out of the comfort zone.
52 yards. It is. He winds up the kick, and it is. You're right. They just had too much time for the defensive line to get in there.
Yeah, they looked like it was bull rushed through the center. No room to get that kickoff.
Nope. And with that extra, again, that wind up and that you need to get that ball that far, just unsuccessful.
And not only that, the Adams now have good field position to go to the other side. They still got 2 timeouts to work with. I also blame Daniel.
Trellis Blanton taken down in the back, almost in the backfield. Tried to step up out of out of the way, but falls down at the line of scrimmage. A pass over the middle, just off to the side, 5 yards down the field, just couldn't get to its receiver.
Nope. Now they get a chance to relax. Time is stopped. They can change the playbook, try and get the first down, and see if they can work with do anything from here to try and get some points on the board.
Charles back in the gun formation, 4 wide receivers out there. Baloo Scott lined up next to him, drops back to pass, scrambles a little bit, thinks he finds someone open, passes, and is not able to complete. I think we're showing number 51, Sean Parent, getting up from the ground. I think he was giving too much pressure to Travis Blanton to really comfortably throw out there. In addition, there was not a contract player or wide receiver out there, so they have a little bit of a butterfingers.
Yeah, it looked like a good throw too. He still went up into the pocket, threw where he needed to throw. Just sometimes the generics, and even some of our ourselves, we drop passes. It just happens. Part of the game.
Yep. Being a outside linebacker, we have stones for hands, so I know that feeling of the ball coming, hitting your hands, and not being able to take it in. They were forced to punt. There's 23 seconds left. Still a little bit of time, for Usman to be able to see what they can do. Long field here with at the Lexington 28. They have about 72 yards to move to the end zone.
Yeah, but they avoided disaster with that block kick. I would be conservative and go for a run play. See if what comes from that.
Christian Pierce was showing some nice running out off to the side. Here we see him again with a little bit of that blocking by fullback Scott Powell out there, seeing what he can do, trying to block for Pierce.
And I think the Miners are happy to take a lead going into halftime. They're the only team that got to a touchdown. The only team that got to the end zone. So you take what you can from here. Their defense is playing lights out.
So far, both teams have been, there's been some positives and some things to work on for both of them, and a little bit of ebb and flow, just trying to find their mojo a little bit. Get something rolling down the hill. We see the rushing totals there for Baloo Scott on the Adams right now. By the numbers outweighs that of the Miners, but the passing of the Miners has been spot on by those two really nice passes. One to Gears, and the other one I believe was to Jones.
Yeah, if you look at the rest of it, time possession, I don't think was up there, but yards. And the big thing was first down. The Adams have 7 to the Miners 3, but it doesn't matter how many first downs you get if you score on what you have, right? So with their 3
Exactly.
first downs, they scored 7 points and they're currently in the lead.
Exactly. If you're able to move the ball down the field and your offense is productive, that's great. And usually points follow that. But if you're not able to convert those into points, that's all for naught ultimately. So we'll see, when the third quarter starts, how they will do.
I still can't believe that ball was caught. That was a very perfect ball. I thought for sure it was going to get tipped away.
Absolutely. There was two backs covering him right there, and just sort of they seemed absolutely stunned as well.
And of course, we're seeing a few of the big plays in the first half. I'm assuming we're going to expect a lot more. Teams tend to open it up now in the second half, so it'll be nice to see a bit more offense being played and see if this defense can actually hold on and keep the line. Because right now, both defenses are playing really well.
Yeah, during the halftime, usually the coaches talk and they review the game footage and what worked well, what didn't work so well, and make adjustments based on what they were seeing, where they were successful, where the defense was, stopping them and adjusting for that. So we'll see if either team can capitalize on their knowledge of how the other's been playing. So Adams kick off to the Miners. The Miners are set to return. Received at the 10-yard line. He's running up and gets up to about the 30. We call it at the 29. And that's where the second half will start. The Miners taking the ball and seeing what they can make out of the drive.
Yep, good field position to start off with. So let's see what they can do with it. They had some really good drives. And we've seen a lot of the passing game, but the running game maybe will open up now because the passing is doing so well. But it looks like we're open up with a pass.
Yeah, empty backfield. That pretty much says pass, and it's a quarterback draw, which would not surprise me at all. But it is passed successfully over the middle, caught by number 18 for a gain of 3. That I believe is their number 4 wide receiver. Generic player. Thankfully making the catch. We have seen a lot of for the passes. We saw 2 really great dimes thrown by Usman. The other passes that have been happening by Usman for the Miners have been the simple checkdowns to Christian Pierce, which oftentimes he's being passed to 3 yards, 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and not able to usually to get much, if anything, if not taking a loss for him. So we'll see if they can figure out ways to sort of shuck the defensive coverage for these wide receivers and see if they can get them open. Otherwise, so far, they've been doing a pretty good job of shutting down the wide receivers. A little toss over to Christian Pierce, able to take it up close to the first down, but not quite getting there. They'll call it 4th and 1. Actually, it looks like it was number 40. No, never mind. That was number 40. I don't know. 40
Number
was
40 on the defense.
40. Thank you. It's hard sometimes.
That's okay, man. I'm here for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
They only had 10 rushing yards in the first half, and we see the struggles continue for the Miners on this front.
They'll punt it off. It's caught on the 23 and only taken for a few yards out to the 28. And that's where the Adams will take over.
Now let's see if they can go back to their tried and true method, get Blue on the outside, get some good yards running, and that will hopefully open up Blandon to throw a bit more because he does have the costly interception. Blandon. The only mistake so far.
Hands off to Baloo Scott, it looks like. Number 22 is able to take it up for a gain of 4. It was from a split back formation.
Yep, and 24 Ty Woodson for the Miners was able to make tackle. They hit very hard, the Miners do, so far that I've noticed. They don't like taking it easy on people.
I mean, they have a hammer as their logo, so I guess that makes sense. Another handoff to Baloo Scott. This time a loss of 2, stopped in the backfield by number 59. I believe that's an outside linebacker. Just getting some penetration, reading that run.
Yeah, now we're looking at 3rd and 8. The Miners went 3 and out. They're going to try and do the same now to the Adams.
4 receivers, 1 lone halfback, Trellis under center, drops back to pass, fakes it, passes over the middle, completed for about 2 yards more than they needed to get that first.
Yeah, and it was a much needed first down. Pump fake to open up the seams, and I believe that was TT Crystal that was able to find enough wiggle room to get inside for the first down.
So now they've got a whole new set of downs. Looks like they're going with a strong eye spread formation. Handoff to Scott. Able to get 3, but then really hit back again, just like you said. That those Miners hit like a mother.
They're just trucking people, and I'm sure Blue is going to feel it by the end of this game. He might need a nice ice bath.
That was number 50, Forrest Dalton, we were looking at, that played a hand in that tackle there. Split spread formation. The gun taken down there behind the line of scrimmage for a sack. Let's see who that is. It's number 51. That is Sean Parent coming around the edge. No, he would through the middle, just pushing that offensive lineman out of the way.
Yeah, it looked like a delayed blitz too. The secondary came late, so it was good for Son to actually make the tackle when he could because secondary was a little open if Blanton had the time.
And speaking of players that maybe don't, well, I guess we weren't speaking of this, but now that we're speaking of players that don't get that don't get much airtime. Sean Parent was matched up against left tackle Phoebe Collins, number 69 for the Adams. Here we see Trellis Blanton making a very nice looking pass. Looks like the coverage was just a little bit further forward and was not able to be able to turn around to be able to react to that pass. It's number 11,
Uh,
Honus Obrobi.
yeah, it looked like the secondary was a bit too aggressive, trying to make a play when they could have just tried to slot the ball down. Ended up being a costly first down and put them so very close to field goal position, which at this point will put them in the lead. But let's see if they can get in the end zone first.
It's a handoff there to Baloo Scott for a gain of 1, taken down by number 51. Again, Sean Parent really making his name known. I believe so far has 2 sacks, and that was a solid tackle right there. Handoff to the strong side, not going anywhere, taken down by number 59, outside linebacker.
Yeah, it looks like they're backing up right now, 3rd and 12 on the 36. Really need some positive yardage here to give your kicker, Mickey, a chance.
We've got 3 receivers at the bottom, 1 at the top. Trellis in the gun, snaps the pass, throws over the middle, not connected with his receiver, number 89, TT Crystal, not able to bring it in. Just simply covered, tackled as they were trying to make the catch. Popped the ball out, not able to take it down through completion.
And those yards matter because they're forced to punt now. So we'll see if they can actually do a nice coffin kick to get them down and maybe play the field position game.
So the kick is up. Will hit the fielder on the 9, bounces, and the Adams will pin Lexington down at around the 4-yard line. Some nice field recognition for coming in at to the side on that, instead of, so often we see them trying to down it by running them directly into the end zone, which does not work, but coming at it from the side there was really smart.
Yeah,
So,
in the SFL, especially this one, they can keep running for yards and yards into the end zone. So it's nice they went to the side to actually spot the ball on the 4, and they're pushing them back even further now.
we met him 2 nights ago. That's Neil Rivers right there, number 99, able to take down. Actually, I think that might be the defensive end and not. I think I have 2 99s out there side by side. My bad. But defensive tackle in the middle is Neil Rivers. There we see Christian Pierce running up the middle for a gain of 4. Previous play, he lost 1 when the defensive end took him down just behind the line of scrimmage.
A bit more wiggle room, 3rd and 7. Let's see if they try and open up with a throw here, or if they're going to be conservative and try and keep the field position not too bad.
Little handoff with a fullback blocking in the middle or in front of him, but was just running a little bit too far in front of Christian Pierce to be as effective. Will force Lexington to punt on their own 9. 4th and 5.
Which means the Adams will have very good field position coming off this punt.
We'll see what kind of pressure. It doesn't look like they're going to bring too many people in. Punt is up. It's caught at the 40 and run pretty nicely up to the 31. A gain of 9 on a punt. Usually you just see 3, 4, 5. It's a nice return there. Give again, setting up Adams, just like you said, with that short 31-yard runway to the end zone.
Yeah, they're in better position now than they were at the end of their last drive.
We see Baloo Scott and Chuck Steller lined up behind Trellis Blanton. Hand off to Baloo Scott, able to get both backs ran right into the line of scrimmage that was really just crowded with offensive battling defensive linemen. Um, so that's not uncommon for just starting out players. Takes a while for your player progressing that run blocking, and then your strength and other things to be able to take care of um, those blocks out there ahead of the running backs. Nice,
Yep,
successfully
nice,
cat pass.
nice throw and catch. It is third down now, 3rd and 5 on the 26. They should be in field goal range as it stands, but you really want to get more points now with this very good field position you start off with.
We're looking at a twin formation, two receivers at the top. Handoff to Baloo Scott again, up the middle. Gain of 1. They'll be forced to try that field goal. So far, they've had success with out of 2 field goals previously. Still have yet to end up in the end zone.
Nope, and both defenses are really honing in on the run game, really stopping them from doing much of anything on either side. So let's see if Mickey can get another field goal to add 3 more to their team.
Mickey. Melillo.
You can try that one. I'm not doing that one. What's worse is no one can see me, but I'm giving like the Italian Mickey, the little fingers. Mickey! Every time I'm doing this.
Okay. So that puts Albuquerque up by 2, 9-7 against the Miners.
Yeah, first lead since the 3 points they got in the first. On their first possession, actually. So, back in the lead. Let's see if the Miners can enter back.
Miners receive the ball, bring it up to the 32, and that's where Lexington will take over. We'll see if this team, the Miners, have a little bit of a sense of urgency, if they're going to be able to move that ball, or if they're going to keep trying to try that run with Christian Pierce. Maybe they'll get lucky and or not lucky, but they'll find something that works. The split back behind Usman, who's under center, drops back to pass, passes over to the left, wide open. Number 13. It's David Gears switching
like
into.
Said, I wanted him to go back to this play, and they did. Look what happened.
He downshifted and just made it, beelined it to that end zone, getting him that really nice touchdown. That's exactly what the Miners needed to be able to answer with. That looked like a little step. Exactly. I was just gonna call the exact same thing.
It's okay because we both called the heat gone too, and look at him just run it down.
Absolutely. Congrats, David. Did he make it in the end zone last time? He did. He got the other touchdown pass. Is that right?
I can't remember if he got it or if Mo Jones got it.
Okay.
It might have
either
been
way. Either way, I'm congrats for getting to that in the end zone. Shaking off the dust. And there you go, Joey Robb breaking that streak, getting that ball through on that extra point there.
And they striked back really quickly. One play, gone like a blur. And so far, the Miners have done the better job at throwing the ball. So if it comes down to a passing game, the Miners are well within their range to continue to put up points.
But I would say, I think maybe the Adams, they probably could still match step for step on passing, but I think because they were seeing more positive results from Baloo Scott, that they might have kept running with him. But yeah, like you said, eventually they're going to have to go away with the run and focus a little bit more on the pass. We'll see what Trellis Blanton they choose to do here. They've got two wide receivers, one at the top, one at the bottom in a pro formation with one lone back behind Trellis. Trellis back to pass, does so to a little out route for a gain of 4 off to the top of the field. That's number 11.
Yeah, and we haven't said his name, but Onis Odaby has 75 yards already. So he seems to be the main man that Blanton is going to.
That first string wide receiver. TT Crystal is off to the other side, second string, trying to make their way. We've seen Blanton trying to get to them. Trellis just had time. That's what we would call a coverage sack. Just nothing happening downfield, and Trellis, I could have thought maybe he could have scrambled a little bit. Didn't really feel the pressure coming from number 93 there. It just takes him down.
I wonder if Blanton was yelling at his offensive line to hold him back. Keep him there. Keep him there. No, not towards me. Keep him there.
Just focused on trying to find that empty or that open player. Here he is again, throwing over. Successfully caught, running downfield. It's number 89, it looks like. TT Crystal. Finally getting something going on their side.
Good throw. Made a person miss to get extra yards. Look at this after the catch. Just gone. Turn the corner and left.
Looks like number 21 in front of tries to go back, just too far leading TT Crystal. Turns to go back, misses the tackle, and allows Crystal to get another 10, 15 yards on that run.
Now we're looking at 1st and 10 on 39.
Trellis passes to the right, not able to haul it in. It's number 40. I believe
number 40, Xander Zeke.
Yep.
Mr. ZZ himself. ZZ Top.
What if he
2nd and 10 now on the 39.
I wonder if Xander Zeke has a long beard or not.
We got plenty of them in the league, so
That's
it'd be
true.
nice to see another one.
A nice successful completion off to the top. That's number 11, I believe, again. Successfully picking up that 10 and a half yards on that. Ty Woodson on the stop there, keeping him from going any further.
Yep, just gets enough to get the first down. And now they're really pushing the ball, making some moves. They're in prime position to strike again, with the third quarter slowly coming to an end. Let's see if they can score before we get to the fourth quarter.
Someone in the chat mentioned Phoebe Collins. Looks at the top of the offensive line that we saw. Doing a good job.
That is Philadelphia Collins himself coming in to check on Phoebe Collins.
I wonder if there's a connection there. Is Phoebe of a relation to you, Phil? Philadelphia?
Also, hello, Mr. Collins.
Mr.
How are
Man
you
Bear
today?
Pig. My wife, awesome. Great to have some nice family in the league. Shout out to Phoebe Collins, left tackle for the Adams. We haven't mentioned, we will when as soon as the Miners get their chance on offense.
Yep, and do you want to tell them about what we like to do in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, so if you're new to the preseason game, if you're new to any of the SFL games, so what we do is when it becomes fourth quarter, we hit a 4. We put a 4 in the chat, just to represent the fourth quarter starting. A lot of times you can see Man Bear Pig put in 86. 86 is remembrance of a player that has had previously passed about 2 years ago, I want to say. Big pass there, broken up by Travis Arthur. If he did not break that up, that would have been a nice touchdown catch. That's exactly what you want to have, exactly what you expect of your free safety, covering over the top if they in a zone coverage.
Yeah, he had to go a long way to do it. It looked like 11 was able to blow by Uh, whoever was supposed to be guarding, nice hands on, nice tackle, stops 6, potentially 7. Let's might be able to just get 3 off it now.
So who is this kicking, Daniel? Tell me again.
This is Mickey. It could be an MVP at this point with all the points he's getting.
And that puts them up to 12 points now, only 2 shy of what the Lexington Miners have been able to pick to get so far.
But so far, the difference has been field goals to touchdown.
Yep. What is that? 4 field goals to 2 touchdowns. And so far, Mickey is the leading scorer for the Adams. And depending on who scored the first touchdown, again, I can't remember if it was Gears or Jones at this point. It could have been Mickey might have been the highest scorer in this game so far. The Miners taking it out to about the 27. That's where they're going to start their first drive of the fourth quarter. See if they can rack up even more points on this lead that they're holding to, the 2 points.
You think they'll go for it again? Do you think they'll be sneaky and try to get Gears open in that route to the outside?
Maybe not this very first one. I think they're going to try something new. But this looks kind of familiar. I think it was maybe a pro formation. One at the top, one at the bottom. Nope, this is a toss over to Pierce. Pierce able to take it up to the 32 for a gain of 5 yards. Decent little run there.
Good blocking up front. Good chunky yards. For someone that's been struggling a bit, and struggling will happen with running backs. A lot of these people are new.
So
that was a good chunk.
So Pierce was running into that top side, which is the side that left tackle Jamarcus Candy is guarding. Here we saw the Adams jump off sides. Pierce is able to get maybe 2 yards on that. I think the Miners will take the 5-yard penalty here and get a fresh set of downs. Ooh, 2nd and inches. Sorry. Thought it would have been close to that, getting them that first down, but still very achievable. I imagine with the 2nd and inches, maybe they'll try a pass here. Maybe they'll try that big pass to try to catch the Adams off guard, or they'll just simply try to power it through.
This will be a good opportunity, but it looks like they're set up to go power through.
Yeah, a little toss to the side. That was the toss plays. These toss runs don't work very well in the game. It takes a very special kind of running back to be able to run those successfully, to get some blocking out there. But the defensive backs were able to just sort of key in on that and run right in there.
Yeah, now we're looking at 3rd and 5 when they were just at inches.
Usman back, split backs beside him on both sides. Back to pass, throws it over the middle, intercepted by Adams. Returns it back up for about 10 yards off to the side. Let's see who that is.
Looked like potentially number 41. Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's one of the backups. I believe this is number 40. I believe that is the strong safety. The Adams do not have a strong safety out there, so both their starter and backup safeties during dime coverage are both generic, non-human players back there. So the Adams now have the ball. Pass over to the side. Almost intercepted on the little alley-oop tip. Intended for number 89.
Right,
yeah, I've seen that happen many times,
so
actually.
have I, plenty of times I've seen it.
You've probably been part of them happening out there.
I've been on both sides of the coin, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But they got second lease of life, 2nd and 10. Good field position on the 37. 1 first down puts them in field goal range for Mickey.
Bellew Scott running up the middle for a gain of 3 on that play, up to the 34.
No problem at all, Mr. Swift. Marco Swift, that is. We enjoy given our times here to help people out, see people play, and we get to watch some football as well.
Trellis back to pass. Passes over the middle. A deep ball. Tipped up into a sea of gray and blue. Unsuccessfully able to convert on this drive. Brings out number 8. That is their punter. So they're going to need to punt this away. We'll see if they can pin them deep. See what they can do. Both teams have been able to, I believe, successfully do that, especially the Adams. I want to say that the Miners have been pinned back twice within their own 5-yard line. We'll see what happens this time.
Yeah, the special teams on the Adams have been really good. I think there's been 2 times now they've been on the 5 or below for yards. So let's see if they can do another one going.
Nobody wanted to touch it.
Well, not as good as the last few, but I'll take the 8. I'll take the 8 anytime.
As the kicking team?
Oh yes, obviously. Not on the offense.
I was gonna say. So here we see Usman under center, lone back behind him. Drops back to pass, a short drop back, and taken down, loss of 4.
Well, see, they heard me saying about the 4, now we're on the 4. We're in dangerous territory because the safety will actually tie the game up right now.
And give the Adams the ball back again, too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We'll see Usman under center, lone back again. Handoff, a little delayed draw play. It's not going anywhere. A loss of 1 on that play. The Miners have just struggled so far on rushing. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's poor for the players themselves. They probably have, just as much ability, but the plays that the team is choosing to play is just not working out for them. Little toss to Pierce, somehow able to get out of the end zone around one of the defenders and up to, I think, a gain of 4 on that little rush. Back up nearly to the line of scrimmage at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, it looked a little spicy when the defender had his arm around him in the end zone, but he was able to break free enough to get a few yards and get some breathing room.
Spicy, nice analogy. It's like a Tabasco of football.
Well, I'm all about spice this week. Everything I eat or touch is spicy.
You were saying earlier Mountain Dew is spicy for you now for some reason.
I got the spice of life in me. That's all it is.
Ethan Kai is asking to hand off to Scott Powell, the fullback. Just break it up a little bit. Maybe a strong fullback dive or a little fullback counter or something.
On the 36, 1st and 10. Very good field position. Let's see if they can make a counter.
Little handoff to Scott Blue Scott is able to get 2 yards. It's trying to outrun the defenders coming more of a run horizontally than it is vertically up and down the field, but still able to pick up 2 on that.
Yeah, it actually looked like he had the potential to get more, but defenders really good in their chase was able to stop him before he could get too much more yards off it.
Blanton under center, making a little bit of a change at the line. Drops short, shallow drop back, but pass successfully off to the top. I believe that was to TT Crystal for the first down and another 10, maybe close to 15 yards in addition.
Yeah, so Gladden must have seen that the defense was playing off and just let Crystal do whatever they wanted because no one was guarding at that point.
Little quick out. This time, Trellis did not lead Crystal out of bounds, but perfectly placed pass to in a very open. I mean, we saw that play pretty much. I don't remember exactly when this game, but they were trying to get a first down, and Trellis just led Crystal out of bounds when it could have easily been a first and another 5 yards or so. Trellis back, hands off. We don't usually see runs out of this shotgun, but that's what you get with the generic playbooks. We get a little bit of everything. Was successful, though, to see Scott out there, pickup of 2.
At this point, the Adams will take any yards they can get because right now they're playing the clock as much as they can with 3 points and Mickey potentially getting them that much at the very least going into this position.
The clock ticking away down around the 5.5 mark. Trellis hands off to Scott again. This time a loss of a couple yards. Not able to get going. It looked like a draw play again. Just a little quarterback drops back as if he's dropping back to pass. 1.5 seconds later, he hands off to the running back, who then ideally will run through one of the gaps opened up in the line with less protection guarding the line. But didn't really seem to work there. Trellis back to class, passes off to the lower part of the field. It's number 11, Gers. Gers takes it out of bounds, stopping the clock at 5:03. It's 4th and 3, and they'll trot out Mickey. I'll let you do it.
Mickey is going to get it done again, looks like. Another 3 points on the board. The Adams haven't been getting in the end zone, but at least they know they got a reliable kicker in Mickey.
Here we go. This will be Mickey's fifth field goal attempt. High snap, caught down by the backup quarterback, and it's good. This giving Mickey 15 points, 5 completed, 100% accuracy field goals.
And if the game continues like it is right now, we could see the kicker be player of the game.
It's possible. So this puts them up by 15-14. We've seen those first 2 preseason games were within 1 or 2 points. Was that right? Like, I think max was maybe 3. I don't know.
I think it was 3 points combined.
Okay.
2 games. So it was 2 and 1. Both came in with the final possession of the game.
That's crazy. And maybe this will happen again. We'll see. Maybe Usman and the coaches on the Miners will make a change and really focus more on the pass. See if they can somehow distract the Adams defensive backs, their secondary, who seems to be doing a really good job of covering the wide receivers. But they've got Gears and Patton. We haven't really talked about Patton at all, but we've seen some really nice throws to Jones and Gears by Usman. Here we see a bunch of wide receivers at the bottom. Pass over the middle for a completion. Taken up to the 36 for a gain of 2 yards. That was Zachary Patton, speaking of the devil. Look at that, tied passing yards.
Yeah, besides the one interception that happened on the last, I think 2 plays ago, Usman has been really good throwing the ball. Just a misstep. It happens. And now he's looking to recover now and get that momentum on the side of the Miners with the throwing game.
Little handoff again to Baloo Scott. Breaks away out of a tackle. And this could be a touchdown that Lexington needed.
That is not Blue Scott. That is Christian Pierce, the guy who only had 10 yards in the first half.
I'm sorry. My bad. Wrong team. Christian Pierce with a large breakaway, almost taking it to the house. My bad. Congrats, Christian Pierce, for a redeeming rush there. If number 67 would just turn around and take care of number 51 chasing him. That number 51 is Jason Pierce, the inside linebacker for Adams, chasing down. And you can see number 37 back behind Usman now. I think Christian Pierce is gassed after that. That's why you work on your stamina out there a little bit. Usman moving around in the pocket, trying to shake any would-be people to take him down. Passes it over to the top of the field to Mo Jones for a successful completion.
Good look, good play design also, knowing that you don't have your running back, but you still do a little fake to him at first to try and get people off guard. Found the opening needed, got 8 yards for it. So let's see what they can do now, 2nd and 2.
Pretty heavy set with this lone receiver out on the lower side of the field. Hand off to Pierce again. I'm sorry. That is, again, 37 Ramirez, backup halfback, getting in there for that well-needed touchdown for the Miners.
Yeah,
getting
and
them that
even though
6.
it was Ramirez who got the touchdown, this all came to Christian Pierce, who is probably still winded, got the Ashton tank going, but this is all because of him.
Yeah, he was the one that sort of set this up, along with the nice Mo Jones catch, um, spreading out that field horizontally, spreading out the coverage. I think I want to say that the Miners may have learned a little bit of what might work for them um, in their next drive if they're able to get a chance. Um, After this, they tried for the 2-point conversion so that they would be a full 7 points ahead of Albuquerque, but they failed on that, so they're now up by 5.
Yep, which means the Adams can still win the game with a touchdown. 2 minutes and 48 seconds, 3 timeouts, plenty of time still to go.
Absolutely.
Plenty of time.
Each team having a full complement of timeouts for themselves. The Miners kick off, and it's returned out to about the 28-yard line. Guy, they did go for a 2-point conversion. Wanted to see if they could secure that 7-point lead, but it eluded them.
Now let's see if Blue Scott will get a chance to do what Christian Pierce did, but it looks like they're going to go right to the passing game early. See what they can do before the 2-minute warning.
Blanton drops back from the gun, eyes the field, passes successfully over the middle for a pickup of 7. They're in the hurry up within the gun straight package. Not a bad package to have the hurry up in. Nice little inside short route, caught for the first down. Still hurrying up. As long as they keep completing these passes, they'll keep hurrying up. Nice over-the-shoulder catch there.
Yeah, it looked like they tried to bump him off, but was able to get around the defender.
I believe that
Might
was
be able to
Xander
get one more
Zeke.
play.
I believe that was Xander Zeke on a little seam route. Incomplete there, just in time for the 2-minute warning to be called. I believe, I believe that was number 40, Xander Zeke.
Yeah, they got plenty of yards for starting this drive on 2 minutes and 49 seconds or 46 seconds. Already on to 41 of Lexington, with plenty of time still to go.
Blanton back to pass, eyeing the field. Pressure coming, takes him down for a coverage sack. A loss of 3, steps up just a step or two, minimizes maybe a 4 or 5 yard loss, but still a lot of pressure there by the Miners and really good coverage in the backfield.
Yeah, and
Secondary.
forced the Adams to take a timeout because you don't want that clock to be moving. You might want to change up the play too now that you're on 3rd and 13.
Again, we see them in the gun straight. We saw that in that hurry up just recently, doing pretty successfully. We'll see what they do here. 3rd and 13, looking for a longer pass, throws over the middle, tipped out of TT Crystal's hands, or just before it reached TT Crystal. It's number 21, Auren Wicker. D-line Ben Eaton, you are right.
Now we're looking at a critical 4th and 13. And because of the timeout they used earlier, if they can't make this, time's going to be running off the clock.
Adams, they catch it. Is it enough? They're gonna say it's not enough. Turnover on downs. They're gonna say they were number 85 was short by about a foot or so.
He kind of tried to throw himself into the first down, but good tackle awareness to keep them from getting that 1 yard that they needed.
So Miners will take over there at their own 32, and they'll probably be taking. No, I was going to say maybe that they might be taking these, but no, with Adams still having 2 timeouts, they're going to be calling those. We know that. Hand off to Christian Pierce again.
So they can stop the clock one more time, but after that, time will be running down. So we'll probably see a good 40 seconds, 50 seconds run out of this clock before the Ams get the ball back. If they get the ball back.
True. If they get the first down here, that could spell disaster for the Adams. Usman with a little toss back to Pierce. Pierce trying to figure out what to, like, finding that hole, but number 41 just comes flying in for the tackle. That's Jack's nuke.
Yep, and they used their last timeout, so no more timeouts left.
We haven't really
Clock
talked
will
about
run after this play.
we haven't really talked about Jack's nuke at all, nor Cody Holland back there, both free safeties for the Adams. Jax was here last season in season 4 with the Boise Mud Dogs. Usman, a little handoff to Pierce again. Not really getting anything going, but not that big of a deal. Able to let that clock tick away, just like you said, Daniel. With the clock, they'll take it down to like maybe 55 seconds and punt it away. And then with the return, they're looking at maybe 50 seconds left to see what they can work with.
50 seconds and they need a touchdown, so we're gonna have to think of some good long, deep plays because the short game is not gonna work anymore.
Nope. But not over the middle either. So you're looking for, sideline to sideline, the maybe 10, 15, 20 yard sideline passes. The punt is up. It's a nice deep punt, fielded at the 35 and only taken up to the 38, 3 yards on that gain, on that return. Really stiff defense on the special teams there by the Miners.
Yep, and now the Adams will have one final chance with 47 seconds left on the clock, down by 5 on the 38.
Here we see, looks like a trips lone, the trips formation, lone back behind Trellis. Trellis back to pass. A lot of pressure coming in at the D-line. Passes out to the side for a gain of 5. It's number 87. That's, believe, a backup wide receiver.
And really good for Blanton to get that ball off because it looked like another sack lunge was about to happen.
And they stopped the clock with that running out of bounds as well. Gun straight here again. They were really successful before. Trellis switching things up at the line. Trellis back to pass. Passes over the middle. And it is caught for a gain of 4, but the clock keeps going. It was because it was over the middle, not able to get out of bounds. We'll see what they do here.
Time is definitely ticking. You gotta.
Ooh, incomplete throw there. Blanton able to just barely get that ball out of his hands in a pass versus being a fumble.
Now it's 4th and 1. Time has stopped, but they wasted a lot of time on that one throw. About 20 seconds, maybe 15, 20 seconds they wasted. So we're going to see how they're going to do. They need to get this first down, and then they need to figure out how to get to the end zone.
Charles, short drop back, passes over the middle, complete. Trying to hurry up. They will not spike the ball. They're going to go for it. Oh, they did spike the ball. I'm sorry. Usually I've seen something like the victory formation.
Yeah, now 14 seconds. They might have 2 looks to the end zone if they go that route.
That sounds about right. Maybe even more. But yeah, you're 44 yards to run. That might be the 7 seconds of the tick down of the clock.
It looks like they're in formation for it.
They are. So often the ball gets thrown to the very back of the end zone where it's almost uncatchable. Scrambling by Blanton, and it's passed. Ooh, they had a man open, but also a defender there. Number 21, that's Oren Wicker, was there.
Blanton did everything he could, too, to get open so he could throw that ball.
Honus Adobe was the one that was sort of got some separation from the group. So often it's just a gaggle of both teams sitting back there in a big group.
And this looks like it might be the last play because that took exactly 7 seconds to throw it.
Trellis ready for that Gets back, moves a little bit, throws it, and that's the game, folks. 3-0 is what that timer hit, and that was the way that this ends. So the Miners take over um, with that big touchdown. Tried for that 2 point conversion, but failed. But that didn't really come back to bite them at all. Uh, Looking at the stats, the Adams had a little bit more of a both the time of possession and yards, but the Miners really held strong and were able to convert those their own yards into points with some really nice, solid passing uh, by Usman to Gears and Jones. Uh, Christian Pierce had had that nice uh, run towards in the fourth quarter to sort of set up that final touchdown. Both teams, I feel like, had a lot of really great things to see how they did. Obviously some things to work on as well, but
Yeah, the biggest difference in this game was field goals versus touchdowns, and that's really what became the major player in this game. Adams got close to the end zone 5 different times, had to sell for 3 points each time. While the Miners were able to get 3 touchdowns, even though they failed the 2 point, didn't bite them in the end.
mhm.
And we saw Christian Pierce come alive a little bit in the second half because he only had 10 yards rushing in the first.
We did see a blocked field goal as well of the Miners, so that would have even been another 3 points that could have been on the board that were taken away by the Adams. So again, so far I feel like the Adams just simply, I'm sorry, the Miners here, their defense held strong. I think it gave I think both teams' defenses, their secondary were strong, but I think Usman was able to thread the needle on a couple of passes that really made the difference, and then that one breakout pass, I'm sorry, breakout run by Christian Pierce was huge.
Oh, definitely. And that will do it for preseason games because that's the last one we have to do. So we're getting very close now to see them in the regular season and seeing the coaches play a factor, see how they do.
Absolutely. Yeah, as we mentioned before, both of these teams were playing with the exact same generic playbooks. Let's see who the player of the game is. Yep, we see David Gears, 2 touchdown passes, only 3 receptions, but for 92 yards. A total of 30.7 yards per catch. That was pretty much that one really large, what it might have been 60, 70 yard catch and run that he did towards the end.
Yeah, I
So
wonder if they would go back to that play, and they did, and it was successful. They tried to tease in the first, and they came back right in the second. So it's nice to see, and they got 7 points off it.
yeah, it was a really good game. It was not the 1 point 2 point that we've seen before, but 5 points is still it was pretty close during some of it.
Yeah, it
I'm
came down to well, technically two Hail Marys, but one of them was closer than the other and could have been caught, I think.
Absolutely. So that pretty much sums it up. I hope you all enjoyed these 4 different games that we got to see. We got a little bit of a taste of the SFLm action these last 2 months. It's been fun, joining you, Daniel, for the commentary and watching these games. I couldn't ask for a better partner to do this with. I couldn't ask for a better audience to do this for. So really appreciate everyone's involvement. And like I was saying earlier at the start of the game, we are literally only 2 weeks away, 14 days. You could start marking your calendar for the 22nd. Um, Typically the games, so they're though the schedule says noon for every single game, it's usually, I want to say, there's a 7 o'clock series and then um a 9 o'clock series as well. So um that's usually typically how it goes. And usually Friday nights, for the most part, is when the minor games play on the SFL YouTube channel. That's the home of the minor league. We won't have to worry about Twitch at all for the games themselves. So you can, if you've got a smart TV, you can pull up your YouTube and stream it live right there on your TV, your big screen. Crack open whatever cold beverage you prefer, enjoy it with friends and family, get them involved. I hope Philadelphia Collins. I hope you'll be rooting on your wife Phoebe out there when they play. Yeah, I'm excited. Daniel, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking about right now?
Well, if anything goes by preseason, we're going to see a lot of close games, and I'm going to enjoy watching every single one of them. Because not only do we have new people coming in, we still have our old friends that we like to watch now and again, and we're just here to make new people. And before we even go anywhere else, minor leagues fights and insights don't stop now with the preseason games. We're still doing coverage and doing our interviews every Wednesday, plus other content coming soon.
As yes, so last year we had the very first, uh, Prospect Bowl, or we dubbed it the Pro Bowl, but it's short for Prospect Bowl. We'll probably be doing something similar. It's pretty much just like the NFL Pro Bowl, where they are voted players for each position are voted on. We divide 8 teams into a Conference and a East Conference, and we pit them together team to team. We do the same thing that we do here, where it's pretty much the same generic playbook from both sides, but it's fun to see your specialized combination of players. We'll probably be doing that late May. Um, should be fun to do. We might replace one of the minor league fights and insights episodes with the airing of that show itself. Last year was a big hit. I think it will be even bigger this year. We get last year we had Shane Kaufman and Johnny Reno joining us in the booth. This year we might have even more players and even more players we could have join us for some interviews during halftime and things. So doing some more fun stuff as well. So yeah, the game is over. The preseason's over. We have 2 weeks left to wait around, twiddle our thumbs, and progress. So make sure you're making your progressions in the portal. Next week, I believe, is what they call a what is it, a progression freeze, where they lock their rosters so that they can build out the rosters so that us coaches can get those rosters to play and plan and game plan, put together our playbooks and sim against each other in preparation for the games themselves. So there may not be, I'd confirm on that, but may not be able to progress next week. But then once the actual yeah, yes, Ethan. Week 7 is when Madison battles Lexington. It's bound to be a great, fun game. We were talking about earlier about our bet that we did last year, both times we were even 1-1. We'll see. We'll see if we do that again this year, but should be fun. Yeah. So next, progressions will start as the season starts. Progressions are changed from instead of Monday through Friday, they changed to Saturday through Tuesday, a little bit shorter time, but they follow up your game. So it's like you play a game and you get to progress after that game because you worked out, you learned a little bit from that game. So think of it as sort of a reward for playing that game. Anyways, Daniel, any last thoughts at all before we say goodnight?
What an amazing game. Thank you guys for being here. And if you get a chance, minor leaguers, take a chance to look at the pros this weekend because we are getting very, very close to our own playoffs. And now is a good chance to see the teams in action. Minor league expansion teams, which we'll hopefully see soon. But get a look at the other teams to see how they go.
Awesome. And if you're not joined our minor league fights and insights Discord server, feel free to join us. Like Daniel said, every Wednesday night we're here, same bat channel, same bat place, same bat time. Usually from 7 to 8 or so Central Time. We talk about all things minor league, and we talk to minor league players. We try to dig in deep. We analyze the upcoming games, analyze the games that just happened, that kind of thing, all for you. So, anyways, good night. I hope you all enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys all in the Gen Chat, the SFLm Gen Chat in the Discord. So, good night, all.
See you later, guys.